Coronation Street spoilers, newcomer and activist Nicola Thorp reveals all on Killer Phelan's daughter. She came to our attention last year as the passionate activist who won the support of hundreds of thousands of people as she battled to change the law when she was sacked from a job for refusing to wear high heels. But Nicola Thorp now faces a completely new mission, staying alive in Coronation Street as her character's dad is notorious killer Pat Phelan. As Nicola Rubenstein is introduced as Seb's caseworker, Phelan soon starts to piece some information together and realizes that he is her dad. The shock will leave both parties reeling and will kick off a big summer and autumn story, and we caught up with Nicola to get the lowdown on her new role. Here's what she had to say. So tell us about your exciting Koi story. She has no idea this man could be her father. Her parents are both dead as far as she was aware. There are a few occasions catches Phelan being a little bit off and she thinks perhaps something's not quite right. But she is Seb's caseworker, so encourages him to get an apprenticeship at the builder's yard, so she's overseeing that. It's through that interaction they form a bit of a bond, which is then tested. How does realization come about for him? Phelan recognizes her mum in Nicola, and it's also because of her surname. The way he finds out certain details about her is not necessarily kosher. Nicola gives him a business card with her name which sparks his memory. He sees her and says how much she looked like her mother. How will she react? She'll react like anybody. She doesn't know who he is. As far as she's concerned, he is a lovely man who's taken on a young down and out at a builder's yard and given a young person hope. When he suggests he might be her father, initially as anyone would, you'd be in denial, then quite angry. And she is yet to find out the man behind the person he presents himself as. Could she be the one he confesses his crimes to? I don't know, he's got so much to admit to. She's the light in his life, but what's interesting is it could be easy for her to be a do-gooder, but she's got a really feisty side to her, and there's a couple of bits I hope the audience likes where they are at loggerheads she can give as good as she gets. Is she open to a relationship with Phelan? At this point she hasn't really got anything to resent, other than that she's lived a lie, but ultimately that's not Phelan's fault. Her parents weren't honest. With both parents being dead, she'd be stupid not to want to get to know this new person in her life. What's the background of the character? She was born in Liverpool but moved to Manchester shortly after she was born. We don't know too much about her past at the moment, other than her parents brought her up telling her never to live life with any regrets and do what you think is the right thing to do, which is weirdly what I say about myself. There are lots of similarities, even the name. She's warm, very caring but fierce. Fierce like her dad, and there are a few moments where that comes out and that worries her. But I haven't hit anyone on the head with a laptop yet. But she could have a dark side? She's put in a situation where their entire life has just been turned upside down and found out their whole childhood was essentially a lie, so I don't think that's going to sit well with even the most angelic of personalities, so we'll have to see. Are there other characters you're keen to work with? Dev. He's just so lovely. He's wonderful. I've watched him for years, and the Platts. And Rita. I know so many people who for them these characters are the constant in their life. You feel like you know them. It's so bizarre being here because all I want to do is go and have a chat with Gail, but of course it's Helen. It's a privilege to be in a show where you connect with all these characters. How does it feel to be in Koi? Mental. 2 months ago I was watching Koi with my family shouting at Phelan. We were shouting at him over Christmas, with the Andy stuff, and then I get the call to say I'm his daughter. It's crazy. I've watched it since I was a kid. I spend Christmas Day with these people every year. Now I'm having lunch in the canteen with Dev and the Platts. It's the second time I auditioned for Koi, as I was screen tested for Kate Connor 2 years ago. I was so nervous I had to throw some car keys on the bar at the Rovers, and I threw them so hard they flew off the edge of the bar. Coming back I wasn't so nervous about everything. What's your relationship like with Connor McIntyre, who plays Phelan? Do you think the press coverage last year helped you to get the part? Nobody knew. I didn't want to tell them as I was worried. With any new job you worry about rocking the boat. I'd rocked the boat at the previous new job and look how that turned out. I'm very proud of that campaign, but as an actress I was worried people wouldn't want to go near that. Koi has an incredible history of strong, feisty women. When I did say look, I've kind of done this thing, someone in the press department said, oh yeah, we've Googled you. That's interesting. I wondered if it was okay and they were like, no, it's brilliant. Everyone's been super supportive. I'd been fired and checked up on the rules behind it, was told there's a grey area because they can expect you to wear high heels because women wear high heels in regular life. I said it's a sexualized element of dress which I don't think is necessary in an office, and also in terms of health and safety, they kill your feet. They said that it's the law and they can do that, so I said I'll try and change the law then. I set up a petition, shared it on Facebook, then it spiraled out of control. I definitely wasn't expecting that kind of reaction. Have you always been the kind of person to fight for things? I've been brought up to fight for my own beliefs, not on a whim but think things through, and if it's not right I'll do something about it. It might seem like a really small issue about shoes, but on the grander scale it's about how discrimination law works in this country. At the moment you have to pay £1,200 if you want to take a case through tribunal, which was only brought in a few years ago under the Tories. That's the big issue for me. Media went for the shoes angle, but for me it was about all kinds of discrimination. That's why I'll be continuing to fight that. Who's your koi female icon? I've loved all of them. Sarah Lancashire as a human being is incredible. From way back. My era was Tina McIntyre. She was tough and I identified with her. She struggled with being labeled as promiscuous whereas the men would be doing the same. I loved watching working class women on TV. I never really connected with certain dramas on telly. It was only koi where you saw things from a woman's point of view rather than about her relationship with a man. That's why I fell in love with these characters.